Hey everybody, it's Phil Evans with Timber&Rose Realty Group with your Monday market update. So last week we talked about the inventory in months, and this week we want to focus on the new listings and the pending sales. We're going to cover both of those things. So this is a very interesting uh, statistics that came out this last month where we saw new listings decrease from January 2022, but they increased a huge amount, 80.6% from the month prior. And I want to show you what this looks like because a lot of times it gets very confusing when we look at statistics, especially if they're coming from big headlines on the different news outlets and it's a national statistic. It can get very confusing when we hear something like, oh, home prices are dropping, or inventory is increasing, and you think, well, okay, that sounds good, but when you look at the statistics themselves, you have to look at more than one usually, and you have to look at them in a very localized sense. So let me show you what I mean. So we just talked about listings having decreased from last year, but having increased 80% from the prior month. So how can something be decreased and increased? Well, what that looks like is this right here. So we have our new listings, which means not just everything on the market that's active, it's just the new things within the last rolling 30 days at the time that the report is published. So right here we have the red dot, which is 2023, and you can see that where we ended in December, right down here on this line, is much lower, and that's why we have an 80% increase month over month, but we have a decrease from the prior year. You can see here the green line is 2022, and we are below that. So last year when we started the year, we had more homeowners putting their houses on the market. So there was more inventory, even though you can see how low that inventory was, especially once we hit the spring buying season. And then by the time we kind of get into the summer, things started dropping off rapidly. And it happened the same for the last 2 years. It wasn't just when we saw interest rates increase in the fall, it happened the same the year before. So we start seeing that seasonality. And we can probably expect it to mirror the same thing this year. So whereas we're starting with fewer homes on the market than we did January's the last 2 years, but we are going to see that probably increase up through the buying season. And I expect it to be right up at the top where these were the year before because we still have an incredibly low inventory rate. And then the seasonality, we'll see it drop off. Okay. So that's kind of why we can have more inventory than we did a month ago with even more extreme inventory levels, but yet still have lower than before. So no argument there that we still have incredibly low inventory, even though that we should see more home offices coming on the market. And then the next thing is pending sales. Okay, so we want to talk about what does it mean to go pending? Pending does not mean sold. Pending just means that the sellers accepted an offer. Now that offer may go away. They may fall out of contract over that 30-day escrow period, but overall, it's how many buyers and sellers are getting matched up and taking homes essentially off the market. And that we saw also decrease from the year before, but then also increased a huge amount, 46.8% for the month before. So let's go take a look at what that looks like. So we have an increase and a decrease. So again, here's our pendings, and it looks very similar to our new listings, where we're higher than we were in December and even in November, but we are much lower than in years past. Okay, so we really should take that into account. What that means is that we're going to see a lot more competition, I think, in houses in the next month or two as we come in. Right now we're in February, so we should see that number already being up a little bit. And then March, April, May. So as we enter the spring buying season, it's going to get more competitive on both sides. Sellers are going to have more competition for their homes to sell against, and buyers are going to have more buyers to compete against getting the few homes that are on the market as well. So whether you're a buyer or a seller, now would be a great time to buy or sell rather than waiting for these months where you're going to potentially have more competition. If you're a seller, you may want more buyers, and that's okay, but just know that you're also probably going to get more listings to spread those buyers with as well. Okay, so give us a call if we can be of any further help for you. is very quick and easy to get pre-approved. It usually happens within 24 to 48 hours, and we have excellent loan officers that we can recommend to you. Hope you guys are having a great week. Talk to you soon. Bye.